What is up, everybody? Good morning, and welcome to the Casual Podcast with your boy Brian, the Casual Brian. The Casual Podcast is brought to you by the Casual Brand. Casual Brand, the place to casually connect to one another. We're coming to you live from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and we are also streaming on the podcast. We have actually shifted, so the audio versions of the podcast. I'm only going to drop the guests for now. I think that's better. That's smarter. So whenever I have a guest on, that'll be available in the audio form. Um, but you can rewatch this again on YouTube. It's all the videos that are recorded are live on YouTube. They're on my Twitter page, although you can't like just scroll through and find it. And then also they're on Facebook. So there's plenty of places to find it. But we're gonna, for now, just for now, we're gonna be switching over from having the audio up every clip or every video up until we can kind of get a staff, because it's a lot for your boy. um Today we're talking about social media. I haven't talked about this in a while, so it's a lot of fun. It's something that I have a little bit of expertise in. Please forgive the geese, the messy couch behind me. Still trying to get this room set up. Going to get those photos up today. I don't care what has to happen. I'm getting those photos up today, which which will probably mean that the desk is going to get cleared. But yeah, so yesterday was Valentine's Day. Uh, one of my I don't have a problem with Valentine's Day. I was gonna say it's my least favorite, but that's a little bit of spin. I don't care too much about Valentine's Day. I just hope that it's not the only day that we're like showing each other love. These glasses are foggy. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes it can turn into a little bit of a thing. I saw something dope though. My boy Phil Rowe, come fresh off of his UFC victory, uh, surprised his wife Amber with a saxophone, like a saxogram, or I don't know, which is my boy Dave, who I've known from since I've known this guy since high school. So it's just so crazy. It's so crazy how small the world is, especially when you're living in Orlando, which is one of the things I loved about Orlando. It's one of the things I miss is how it's like everybody kind of knows each other. Dave's a great, phenomenal saxophonist. Just really loved what he's doing and the way he plays. I mean, he's just a great player. So anyway, but let's get right to it, because um, I think it's important. I think social media is something that um, needs to be discussed more. So, like the first thing I want to talk about really with social is I feel like social media gets a bad rap. What I mean by that, I mean that there are a lot of things that can happen in the social media space that is not necessarily social media's fault. I think that we forget that social media is just a tool. You know what I mean? It just facilitates what people want to do. Now, I do think social media bears some responsibility in fostering certain tendencies and enabling people to feel emboldened in some circumstances. But even then, social media is only you. We are social media. Whatever's posted was posted by somebody. Whatever um for the most part, all those comments are real people. And I do think that there's a an aspect of people behaving in a way that they wouldn't behave if it was in person, because the consequences are more real. I'm not gonna walk up to Mike Tyson and say, "Hey, you suck," but I can drop it in his comment section, you know. Um, so that is a part of it. People are addicted to it. It has hurt children's self-esteem, especially young girls. These are real things. But again, it's us. It's us. You know, I don't think that it's necessarily um Instagram that has hurt the young girls. It's the realization that you could connect to the world because everyone's been told that they're special. Gary says it like this: the market will decide. And so the thing about potentially having millions of followers or millions of views or millions of likes is that when you don't get that, how do you deal with it? I have clients all the time that, like, if they put something out and it could be good, if it doesn't get a lot of views, if it doesn't get a lot of likes, they feel like it was a failure. That's what's and that's the part that I feel like is negatively affecting um young kids, especially young girls, is this idea that if I don't get a million likes and a million views, I'm not popular. I'm not. Then they could be getting hundreds or thousands of views, and they're still just like, I'm not like Charlie Domingo or what. I don't know. I don't know what her name is. I can't remember her last name, but Charlie the dancer, Bella Porch, all these people who kind of blew up overnight, even though Bella didn't blow up overnight. And it's so funny how she blew up. So anyway, I think if we redefine a couple of things with social media, we can all have a much better experience. I have a great time with social media because I use it, I believe, the way that it's intended to be used, and I use it for business. But I know how to separate. So I think we need to get away from vanity metrics. That's the first thing. And there's a mental health aspect of it, and there's also a practical aspect of it. Vanity metrics don't mean as much as what we used to think. You can get a million views on a video and still not be able to sell 10 t-shirts. So what good is it on the practical side? People are focused. The number one thing people focus on is followers, likes. And these things are just not that important. Give me an engaged 1,000 people over a million people all day long. Unless you're trying to get brand deals and work with companies, your followers don't matter. You know, those are the people who are gonna say, "Well, how many followers do you have? What kind of engagement are you gonna get?" Yeah, if I'm trying to do a deal or have like, um, I don't know, Kellogg's sponsor one of my videos, they're gonna want to know about my those metrics. But the reality is, if I'm trying to build something, sell something, um, you know, sell a book, um, sell a class, you need to have a better community. And in fact, some people don't realize this, but the bigger your community gets, the less uh becomes because it's spread out and thin out, you know? People are not checking every day. And then Instagram says, "Oh, well, now instead of 70% of the people checking their page, it's only 60%." So then what happens? They start showing it less and less. I'm not saying that you don't want to get a big account. If you can get millions of followers, there is value in that. But there is also value in having people that really care about your page. And it may or may not translate or turn into a massive million follower page. But you can move mountains with 1,000 engaged, passionate followers. So we need to shift from what we're focused on. Also, are you having fun with social media? Are you, and this kind of goes both ways. It's not, or I hate this concept. Now, granted, the metaverse is what everybody kind of talks about. When people used to talk about online, they would talk about it like it was the metaverse, even though we hadn't got to the metaverse yet. There is no diff but with Web 2, there is no separation of online and and, um, and reality. I hear people say this all the time. That's not in real life, that doesn't happen. This is happening in real life. I'm sitting in a chair, using a computer to project my podcast. This is real life. You're watching it online, but you're watching it somewhere, sitting somewhere in real life. Now, the metaverse, that's going to be completely different because we're going to be online experiencing online things. That's the difference. We're going to be online watching a movie. So we're going to have to get online to do something online. And that's different. And that's cool. That's Second Life. I'm excited for it. A good example for this is so instead of going to a jazz club, you will get online. So it's just different. It seems like it's not different, but it's different. Um, so like right now, I can get online and watch a live performance at Smalls, right? But when the metaverse happens, then I'm going to get online, and then I'll meet a friend, and we'll both go to a virtual jazz club and experience a live jazz performance in the metaverse as an avatar. But with more hardware, it's going to integrate and it's going to feel more like I'm actually online. But we're not there. So there is no in Web 2 there is no, in my opinion, separation between reality and the internet. So first thing we got to do, we got to change our metrics. Engagement. Second thing we got to do, have a better time. We need to have we need to get back to having fun with social media. Social media has a lot of good to offer. The connected the ability to connect with people, there's nothing like it on planet Earth. There is nothing like that. Facebook allows you to connect with people that you would not be able to connect with, and also reconnect with people. There's massive value in that. FaceTime. And I don't also really separate um like I don't like the people call it social media. I like to call it the internet. And when I have clients, I say your digital presence, which is I was already kind of getting towards metaverse, you know, your digital footprint. But like people do things only for only for the response, only for the results. That's why people who have great paying jobs are not excited, not happy about that job because they don't enjoy it. They're not doing it. I don't know. For better or for worse, I'm not trying to live life where I'm focused on the results. I want to enjoy the process as well. That's why I'm thrilled that little by little I'm starting to enjoy traveling or flying specifically more. Because if I can enjoy the process of flying, I can go more places. But if I don't enjoy flying, it's always going to be stressful for me. So in the back of my mind, I'm going to be apprehensive about traveling. You know what I'm saying? These are the ways that we have to think. We have to get back. I'm having a blast right now. I'm all in on Instagram because I believe Instagram is the place. But I'm having a blast doing it. I enjoy making reels, trying to figure out ways to make the trend appropriate to either anime, social media growth, or jujitsu. I haven't done a jujitsu in a while. I need to do jujitsu again. Um, it's fun. It's fun to do. Social media, it's fun. You know, some spaces tend to be less fun, but even they can be fun. Twitter is a great example. Twitter seems to be a lot of trolls, a lot of bots, but at the same time, there's a lot of fun that happens. Black Twitter is an experience, you know? Memes, the whole meme thing, that's culture now, you know? I get so many things. I really think that I think Instagram slash Facebook slash Meta kind of got it, kind of understood it. I think that the real social media experience happens right now in private messaging or in text threads. If there was a company that would come along and make a better text thread, which I guess is WhatsApp, really. But I just think that there's nothing better. My favorite thing in life is my text threads. With my family, I have one with my family. I have one with my best friends. I have multiple ones with friends. Um, text threads, texting is the best thing. And I think that was the attempt in the idea of threads. Instagram is making more. Um, they're making more of an effort to make messaging better because that's where social media is happening right now. It's happening in your DMs. It's shifted. DMs used to be a little bit more scandalous back in the day, and they still are scandalous. But the DM is where people really interact, which is another reason why I highly recommend when you make a post, share that post in your story. One thing that I learned from my little cousins, they're like 22 now, is that they experience Instagram almost primarily via story. So because they came up on Snapchat, which so it makes perfect sense. So a lot of people leave money on the table because they don't use their stories properly. I've been more active in my stories, and it makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference. So so those are some conceptual things. There's more I could talk about. I could talk about all day long. Here's some things you could do, and I'll try to go specific. If you're using Facebook, focus on groups. I like to. I personally think Facebook is great for actually having a connection with people you really know, until you get super big and then you got to shift it up. But if it's not personal, groups is an amazing asset on Facebook. Another thing that people don't realize about Facebook is now leaning into podcasting. So if you have a business page or a fan page, you can connect your podcast to that, and that is massive. That is absolutely massive, and you should do that today. If Instagram, I've already just talked about stories. Um, they're leaning into monetization, which is great. They want their creators to be able to monetize. Be careful. Just be careful. Both ways. If you are a content creator, just very gingerly lean into charging your clients or your followers. Um, oh my gosh. Reels. You need to be posting Instagram reels. Period. Period. I don't want to say only reels, but reels. Think about it like this: reels are for growth, for new people who don't know you. Everything else is for the people who do know you. Pardon me. So every day you need to be posting reels. If you can't post multiple reels a day, just post one a day. Try to make them quality. Um, I don't think it's quantity over quality, but I do think it's speed over everything. You know what I mean? So I'll say that one more time. It's not quantity over quality, but it is speed over everything. Think of, I think a lot of people get caught up with overthinking. And one, if you're spending enough time on social or on a particular platform, you're going to know what it needs, what it wants, what it's given. But if you're not, then you're always going to be kind of trying to figure it out, right? And that's not where you want to be. You want to be in a space where you're like, what is it that they want? Do I know what Instagram wants? So Reels, TikTok is still there. Find the trends, um, get some traction, and then slowly start integrating what it is that you actually want to be doing and saying. But initially, find some trends. I have no idea what works on Snapchat because I don't use it and I don't care. Twitter. So most people think that Twitter is about tweeting. It's not. It's about responding. Find popular conversations or moments and then jump in on them with good insight. If you know about MMA, talk about MMA. If you don't know about MMA, don't talk about MMA because you'll be exposed very fast. You don't have to know a lot about MMA, but if you know about it, you can talk about it. Find popular conversations and join them. And then eventually, if you keep saying good things, people will find you and follow. So that's my podcast for today. Thank you for everybody that stopped by and checked it out. I hope you have a great day. And until tomorrow, stay casual.